People shouldn't leave their TV sets or courtside here because I've never seen guys warm up. You know, last year we did this during warm-ups. It didn't seem like the guys were as into it as they were this year. I never saw some dunks like they did in warm-ups.
Well, our first contestant is the legendary Isaiah Montgomery, three-time champion, and this is like having the fat lady sing in the first act because this guy was the one who was so incredibly wired. Not that the other guys weren't, but as defending champion, he was setting his turf, and here he goes with his first dunk. Goodness gracious. The crowd and the judges.
I hang out at Rand's crib.
These dudes,
Where's the beat?
do not know how to say S-E when it comes in. It's a smooth beat. All you gotta do is just say S-E. Shout out to Teddy Pentagrams. Welcome to Sports Enthusiasm. What's up, baby? What's going on? Oh!
Yeah, Wayne, you know what I'm saying?
That's so good.
I'm just kicking it, you know what I mean, on the set.
What's up?
What's up, man?
What, you got some neck warmers on? What's that?
Beats by Dre. You think you the only one to have Beats by Dre?
You're right.
Oh, I just broke this.
Oh, wow, dude.
That ain't even funny.
Is it better on TV?
Yeah, I think you look kind of good there.
You do. You look great, partner, and you put on a great show once again. Let's see. Now, how old are you?
19.
All right, you're getting a little old for this. You going to be back next year?
Of course.
How's Camden College doing?
It's great. I can't wait till the season starts, though.
Where did you play high school ball?
Overbrook.
And what was the best thing about it? Did you ever play when you were a kid on the basketball court? And how old were you when you learned how to slam dunk?
Well, I was 16 when I made my first dunk.
And how tall?
I was 5'9", I think.
You know, I'm 5'9". I dream about that. Isaiah, congratulations, and I hope to see you here next year. You put on a great show.
Thank you.
Only hope I had was selling through. Was on the ground, so I didn't sell a flow. My mama told me not to step, not to tell a fuck. I grew up looking at the niggas.
Yeah, that's that Philly hotness. Shout out to Meek Mills. Welcome back to Sports Enthusiasm. Yo, Wayne. You know they was playing this over the weekend on HBO.
What?
The fight.
They playing what? Meek Millie?
Yeah, the Puerto Rican boy, Danny Garcia. Shout out to Danny Garcia. He won a lightweight championship from the legendary Eric Morales. Shout out to people whose names end with K. Eric, like Eric the Viking.
You like that?
I like that.
You always like that. You like when people bring your name up?
Yeah,
like
I like
you
that.
did back in the day?
Yeah, I like that.
You like that?
No, it was P-Rock.
I mean to bring up your government, nothing, but I dig what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, They also played this. We was playing ball in this tournament over the weekend, man. This reminded me of basketball, man. Like, they be mixing a lot of stuff into the dunk contest now, too. You see how Diddy was all involved in the dunk contest?
Yeah.
Back up, my man. Back up.
The dunk contest this year was horrible, man.
Yo, I ain't even
The past couple of years have been horrible, though.
No, the year before last wasn't bad. This year they had all the theatrics. They had lights, neon lights and things like that. But last year...
What was good about last year?
Last year, you know, you got Blake Griffin. He was doing some fantastic stuff.
What Griffin do?
He jumped over a car.
He jumped over the what was that, a Kia? What did he jump over? The Optimus?
Blowing up.
And he really didn't jump over
He
it?
jumped over the front of that joint, man.
I remember when somebody jumped over a car, they really jumped over a car. They jumped over the Act Legend back in the day.
You gotta be talking about. You talking about my man Reese from West Philly, from the Hilltop.
I'm talking about Isaiah Montgomery, man. The boy did his thing when he jumped over that thing, man.
He sure did. He was the first to do it. What's going on, man?
What's going on with y'all?
Welcome to Sports Enthusiasm. We got my man Reese right here, better known as Isaiah Montgomery. You know, for kids, if you thought that was amazing when a 6'9" dude, please back up. When a 6'9" dude jumped over the front of a car, this man jumped over the top of a car. How tall is he?
5'10".
5'10". How long ago you do that?
About 18 years ago.
About 18 years ago. So, you know,
I still can do it, though.
What comes around goes
I'm
around.
over that thing right now. Y'all think I'm playing?
Oh, we might have to get that. We might have to get that on videotape, man. We might have to get that on videotape, man.
There may not be enough points.
Beautiful Acura.
It is a gorgeous automobile. Even the color's outstanding, too.
I'm not sure.
Is he leaving himself enough room for this jam?
This is called driving to the basket.
Isaiah Montgomery looking to win his 4th straight Hoop It Up Upper Deck Slam Dunk Championship. We'll see
Hit it all the way over the water. You say it's 175 yards all carry. This is... Oh! All carry.
Oh, baby! You believe that? Woo!
Never done before, never seen at Hoop It Up.
Oh, my goodness!
The good old days, the good old days, the good old days. So let's talk about the good old days.
Welcome back to Sports Enthusiasm. It's your boy Sleep. We here with my man Reese, a.k.a. Reese Jordan, a.k.a. Isaiah Montgomery. You know what I'm saying? He had all the handles back in the day. So, all right, let's take the people back. A lot of kids don't really know about your legend. Legendary dunker, street baller, high school basketball player, early 90s, made the front page of the Daily News. So, we're going to take them back, even before you had the legendary dunk contest, which was a Daryl Dawkins dunk contest that came to the hood, came to the Hilltop. Follow me, children, the Hilltop. Tustin Playground, the legendary Tustin Playground, Wilt Chamberlain ball, where a lot of people ball, Kobe ball. So before that, when did you start dunking?
Well, 8th grade, I went to a school called Baldy, you know, in the Northeast, and one day I just dunked the ball, and I couldn't believe it. And just ever since then, I just kept on. That was my thing, just keep dunking the basketball.
So did you, prior to that, did you do any type of special exercises to get you? Because you was a small guy at that time. You wasn't even the size you are at this point.
Right.
So did you do anything?
Man, I think it was just God-gifted talented, for real. Because I've never been one to work hard at that type of stuff. It was just a talent that I just was blessed with.
Right. Now, because I know you, I want you to explain to the people, like, your style of dunking was different. Like, you had a flair when you wasn't even trying to have a flair because of one thing, and I used to tell people, you used to jump off the wrong foot. Right. So explain to the people what foot you jumped off and why you started jumping off that foot.
Oh, that's crazy. I think one season I broke my ankle, my left ankle, the one I always jumped off of, and they put a cast on it. And we used to play a pal every day, and I couldn't believe that I was just grounded like this, you know what I'm saying? So I would just practice on just dunking that basketball with my left hand and jumping off my right foot with the cast on. And after that, it was just over. When everything healed back up, I just
But did it heal up? Because you kept cutting the cast off.
Yeah. After like a week, I had it on for about a week. My brother Bread cut that thing right off with a steak knife, man.
Shout out to Bread Dollars,
Yes,
but those
sir.
bread
Yes, sir.
millions right now.
Yes, sir. But he cut that thing off my ankle, and I couldn't even walk. But it healed up a little bit, and I was on from there.
All right. So, yo, we're going to go to my man, Philly Billy.
Man, throw it to me real quick.
Oh,
Let me say something, man. Please, don't be on it, man. Listen, I used to follow people all day long as far as basketball went, man. That man right there, what he used to do with The Rock was crazy. Well, it was crazy. Like, I had a couple homies that went to Brook. I had a couple people that just knew him, and just what he used to do when he had The Rock. It was amazing, man. It was amazing. I don't think people understand, like, when we saw the Blake Griffin joint, if you was from Philly, that was terrible what he did. What Blake Griffin did was terrible. What Reese did, it was ridiculous. Like, seriously, like, I'm a fan. I ain't gonna front. Like, this is so long ago. I was probably 17, 18 years old, but I remember the Colt 45 thing. I remember him going to go get the Gucci's because I read the whole article, even though I didn't know him and they didn't bring it up. But I'm just saying, it was just amazing what he used to do with The Rock and how his hops was just crazy. It was crazy.
hey, say no more. Let's go to Philly Billy with Forget About It.
Your man Philly Billy here, kicking it on Sports and Enthusiasm. Yachty Box YouTube, how you doing? Another episode of Forget About It. Now, you know, because everybody knows, some goofball who's running their mouth saying the stupidest things like, Peyton Manning's the greatest quarterback of all time. Hey, forget about it. Let me explain something to you, okay? You want to talk quarterbacks? You want to talk greatness? Greatness is closing a deal. Greatness is finishing, okay? That's what Joe Montana did, okay? Then Forrest and Terry Bradshaw did. You know what Peyton did? He beat a team that limped across the NFC with their defense came and Rexy Grossman. That's who you beat. What happened? You come up against a real team like New Orleans. You got wiped up. You want to talk Super Bowls about Peyton Manning and his greatness? Okay, let's compare this. Peyton Manning, 1 ring. So does Brad Johnson. So does Trent Dilfer. So does Mark Rippon. Forget about it. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Dan Marino himself said he'd trade every one of his regular season records for a Super Bowl ring. Ain't about what you do during the season. It's very little what you do during the season. You know why? Because all you have to do is make the playoffs. And nowadays, but go back a couple years, 7 and 9 made the playoffs. 7, 8 games, and you get in. It's about closing, finishing, putting it all out there in the field and sealing the deal. So you want to talk about Manning? You want to talk who's closing the deal, who's sealing it and putting it down? That's Eli, not Peyton. You got 1 ring. All your records and your MVPs don't stand for crap when you can't put it down and finish and close out the season. End the story for you knuckleheads saying Peyton's the best. Joe Cool, that was the man. Peyton, forget about it. Your man Philly Billy, rocking out of Yachty Box, YouTube, Sports Enthusiasm. Much love, R.I.P. Joey P. Travel well, my friend. Bang, bang, pow, pow.
Welcome back to Sports Enthusiasm. I'm here with my man Reese Jordan. We're going to continue the story. So we left you off. He's dunking with his right foot. He's dunking in the 8th grade. He starts to dunk more. He gets older. When you start dunking more powerful, when you entered the first contest, how old were you?
Oh, man. 16.
About 16 years old. So there was a Daryl Dawkins Colt 45 slam dunk competition, like we said, the legendary Tustin Playground.
Exactly.
Home court, home turf. So, you know, everybody was supporting them.
Taking me back.
Yeah. Came out. At that time, you jumped over, what, 1 or 2 people?
I think it was 2. Yeah.
Jumped over 2 people. Stole the show. Daryl Dawkins was there. But something that we didn't think it was going to have these ramifications at the time, you had to do what?
I had to go to court to play basketball in the 12th grade because I was made me ineligible when I accepted that money that day. I mean, when you're an amateur athlete, you can't not accept any money. It makes you ineligible and it makes you a professional athlete from that point on. So you guys beware of that too.
And, so, and at that time, that was something that none of us was really knowledgeable about. And shame on you old heads for no one, you know, bringing that to your attention.
All I know is I had $7 in my pocket. That day I left there with $1,000. I said,
$1,045.
$1,045.
And what did you? Because you know we got the sneaker feed segment. What did you do with that $1,045?
Basically treated everybody like I would want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? If it was unfortunately everyone's not like that, but that's the type of guy I am to this day. You know what I'm saying? If I would hit the lottery for $1 million right now, I would have to give everybody something.
Gucci sneakers for the hood.
Make me feel better.
Gucci sneakers for the hood. You saw the Gucci sneaker on the sneaker fiend segment. All right, so from there, even though you know you had that misfortune of being ineligible for college, your legend grew as a dunker. Mm-hmm. So you took your sights to other competitions such as
Hoop It Up. It was a big shout out to Hoop It Up too for doing a lot for me, man. 7 years I was a champion for them. Traveled overseas, 10 city tours. It showed me a lot, man, working with Hoop It Up.
And it put you on TV, put you in front of the city.
Right. And I did 3 stay in school specials for the NBA. It's like, you know the weekend thing they be doing.
Right.
So we did that 3 times. I did a lot of stuff, man.
All right, so let's get to the what year was the year you decided to put the car out there, and what made you do that?
Where'd that come about? Oh yeah, we used to always be in the hood. I would jump over cars. We didn't have much money back then, so I had a couple of friends that would get other people to bet that I couldn't do it, and I would just come out of nowhere and do it, and we would have our money for the day and things like that. But that's where the idea came from, and we just took it to the basketball court, sort of like hip hop do with the basketball.
So it wasn't an Optima with the sloped roof. It was an Acura Legend with a fully inclined roof. Now the first one you went over the back window of it, but it still was a higher incline than the Optima. Right. All these things are recorded.
He jumped over the front.
No, he went over the back.
Blake Griffin jumped over the front.
Yeah, he went over the lowest portion of the car.
Right.
He went over the back portion off the window, but this is the first time, and this is at probably like age 19 or something like that. So we're gonna go to your man. We're gonna go to your man Ease, aka EJ, with Politics as Usual.
Of all ages, it's your boy Chief Rocker, aka PJ, coming at you live with another episode of Politics as Usual. When politics, finance, the economy, sports, and entertainment all pile up together in one big ball of greed, corruption, and confusion. And today, we're going to be talking about legendary OGs. Seth Soul Man Farentani. He's doing 25 years in the Fed. He's locked up with some of your OG legends. And we're not going to be talking about people like Alpo. No. We're not going to be talking about Rayful Edmonds. And you want to know why we're not going to be talking about those legendary drug dealers? Because they never kept it real with the game. When the pressure came, and you know pressure bust pipes, and when the FBI, CIA, Alphabet Boys came, you know what they did? They broke code and they ratted. Have some cheese rap. So people we're going to be talking about today are legendary players who stood true in the game. And most of the time when you have legendary players, the only time they get known is when rappers make a song about them. Like my man, William Roberts. Y'all know him as Ricky Ross. You know, every day I'm hustling. Do you remember the video when he had the shirt, Booby Boys? Do you remember that? If you think real close to that video, that was a real person. His name was Kenneth Booby Williams. And I'll give you the verse that Rick Ross said. He said, when they snatched Black, I cried for 100 nights. He got 100 bodies, got 100 lives. You remember that verse? That's real rap. I read the book. I read the case. The feds charged him with 100 shootings, 35 murders. He has 3 life sentences. This is a real dude. And what we're talking about today is a new definition of snitching. In this book, Ephraim, E4 Rosado, Booby's right-hand man, says that the attention that Rick Ross brought upon the Booby Boys with the Everyday I'm Hustling video, the constantly screaming out Big Meech's name in videos, the constant glorification of the Carroll City Cartel, these was real people, real drug dealers. The feds do not play. If they have a whole unit at juvenile probation dedicated to going through people's Facebook accounts and Twitter accounts and trying to see how their pictures and actions on Facebook match up to their real life, you running a $100 million drug operation and the feds ain't doing the same thing? Stop it. Hip-hoppers, rappers, when you glorify your local drug dealers, when you glorify them and claim that you're giving activities and love to the hood, in reality, you're actually setting them up for RICO investigation with the feds. It's your boy Chief Rocker, keeping it real as always. Beware of your fake friends disguised as homies that's really setting you up on a Thanksgiving platter for a death sentence in the federal cages. Politics as usual, sports enthusiasts. Holla at us.
Yeah, year's 1993. Welcome back to Sports Enthusiasm. Extended interview. Because we got my man Reese, a.k.a. Isaiah Montgomery, a.k.a. Reese Jordan, a.k.a. I'll dunk on your head even if you're close to blocking it. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. We're going back up. So we take you into 1993. You know, he jumped over the car, the back of the car. I think that was actually 94. So then he upped it the next level in 1995, and that's when you pulled out. I don't even know what type of car, but you jumped over the top of the car with two hands. Blake Griffin, you know, Blake Griffin's 6'9". He's a foot shorter. You know what I'm saying? Plus, he didn't have all the cushy amenities before he approached the stage. So, all right, as the story concludes, you finish your high school basketball career at Overbrook. You can't play college ball. You can't play college ball. So at this point, you basically dunking for money. You're going around the world.
Yes.
You made a total of $6,090 dunking. You can't play college ball, so you basically dunking for a living.
Yeah.
Usually a guy give it, whether it's hood competitions, whether it's global competitions, you dunking for a living.
Right.
So then, what happened next?
Well, after the dunk contest was dwindling down, I guess my last tour I went was in Italy, and came back, and I didn't know what I was going to do next. I was just like waiting for the mail to come just to like see what was going to happen, because basically I was being contacted by people to do exhibitions at 3-on-3s and overseas. And so I was back home, and then I got a call from the Olympic team saying they wanted me to try out for a sport called handball. I wasn't really enthused about that at first. Because
Sports enthusiasm, are you enthused? He wasn't enthused.
Not at all, because basketball is my love, my heart, and that's what I wanted to do, nothing else. But you know, as I got to know the sport and the rules of the game, I mean, it was something athletic that I could get into and make a career out of. So, started doing that, staying at LaSalle University for about 2 years. We lived there and trained every day. And then it was time to go to Atlanta. So we went out to Atlanta.
The legendary 1996 Olympics where it was the bombings.
Yeah, it was about that time. And so we was training there, making final cuts.
Big dream team.
Making final cuts at that time, and had a little mishap.
An unfortunate situation.
Yeah, I want to go all into that, you know.
Right.
But ain't nothing I'm ashamed of, because it was a learning experience. So after that, it was like I didn't know what else I was gonna do.
Right. So as you see, people, you're learning the legend of Isaiah Reese Montgomery. This all happened in the early 90s, 18 years before Blake Griffin. A man half his size was jumping over cars. It was great to have you here. Hopefully we can have you back. And what we're going to do in the future, so stay tuned. We're going to get Reese out on the court. He gave up his age. I ain't going to give up mine. But we're around the same age.
You still do that thing.
And we're going to still show you that age ain't nothing but a number, man. All right? We holler back at you. Sports enthusiasm. I hope you was enthused.
Yeah, you hear those combos? The year is 1992. Heavy African-American influence, Mecca and the Soul Brother, Pete Rock and CL Smooth,
Business Level Personal, EPMD, Tupacalypse Now. Tupac's first album title. Then they had the infamous April 29th incident where the riots in LA because of Rodney King. But something else popped off in 1992. The Air Jordan 7. Now I know we got a lot of fiends out here, y'all fiending watching March Madness, so it's only right for you sneaker fiends that we bring you to the Air Jordan number 7. 1992, your boy Tinker Hatfield. And if you're a sneaker fiend, you can follow me. All your favorite Air Jordans were done by Tinker. Tinker's out in Portland, which ironically Mike won his second title in Portland, beating Clyde Drexler. You remember all those points and three-pointers in the first half. We looked at Magic. That's when Magic couldn't talk. Remember when Magic couldn't talk? He talks a lot better now. He actually just did a documentary. Shout out to Magic Johnson. 20th year anniversary of him living with HIV. So he was in Portland. He saw an African symbol like art structure, and he asked to buy the poster. And the guy wouldn't sell it to him, and then he told him he wanted to use the influence on the next Air Jordan. He sold it to him for $15. And it was a guitar in the shape of Africa, which influenced the Air Jordan number 7. If you look at the Air Jordan number 7, it has a lot of African-based colorways built into it, just like something else, the African American Alliance. College kids, you know, back in the day, black universities, African American universities, we had these shirts representing our different universities. This is actually from 1992. Y'all know I'm a collector. This is actually from 1992. It's a little young in certain areas. Malcolm X College doesn't exist, but it was a mind frame. So Mike was like, stay young, sophisticated, but stay interesting. They made the shoe based off the Air Hirachi technology, which means it collapsed the foot and it really hugged the foot for cutting and moving. You know, it's actually one of my favorite shoes for basketball. This is like nicknamed the Hair Jordan because it looks like a bunny as far as the colorway. Came out with 5 different colorways. The infamous summer, the Dream Team 1992 Barcelona Olympics. Because we're short for time, I gotta bust through like the Hulk. You remember the Dream Team had Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, Magic Johnson came back out of retirement to playing it. They dominated the world. Actually wore his high school number 9 on the back of that. So a lot of people, this is actually the first shoe where people was divided with the Jordan because it looked a lot like the Air Jordan 6. You know, the one with the holes in the tongue. So some people actually hated this shoe. And some people actually loved it. This is the shoe he wore in the playoffs when they ran through for the second title. And he beat Clyde Drexler. He went on the next year to beat Charles Barkley for 3 straight titles. This is the first Air Jordan that was exported to all 4 corners of the globe, which made him a global icon and was like perfect timing based off the Olympics. So, you got your Bugs Bunny, you got your African art, you got your culture, and most importantly, you got sneaker fiend, the sports enthusiast. Keep fiending, my friends. The Hilltop. You also give a shout out to an interesting guy's name on that song.
Close. Wow. That was outstanding. Final numbers as if you needed to see them. Isaiah Montgomery by 6 points. And here's Carl Churkin with the winner, Isaiah Montgomery.
Okay, David, thank you very much. Isaiah is accepting congratulations from his thousands of fans, it seems here. Where'd you come up with that one, Isaiah?
I always do it every day. It's like a training method for me, jumping over the cars, and I do it every day. So I just try to do it with the dunk with it, and it worked. I'll be using it from now on.
You always do it with an Acura?
No.
Does it really matter?
No. Not really. Doesn't matter.
It seems amazing, you know, although you're a very good all-around athlete, you've been your specialty and you're the thing you've gained notoriety for. What's it been like just to keep practicing dunking and dunking and dunking?
I mean, since I've been not eligible to play in college, I rely on this to give me a chance to play basketball. And I hope someone sees me and gives me a chance to play basketball professionally.
Hoop It Up is giving you that opportunity year after year.
I really appreciate it from Hoop It Up, too.
Isaiah, thank you very much. As we get engulfed by many of Isaiah's fans,